Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Literary Couch, episode 2. First episode, we talked about Sherlock Holmes, and this one, we're gonna dive deep into the Great Gatsby. So, today, we'll be breaking down the big ideas behind Fitzgerald's classic, The American Dream, social class, and why Gatsby just can't win. And if your attention span is already fading, don't worry, there's gameplay on screen. So, let's get into it. We'll be discussing three major questions. The first one being, Yusuf,
Yes.
what does the Great Gatsby reveal about the American dream and its consequences?
Hello everyone. Well, I personally think about this question, and it's a very interesting question to say the least. The Great Gatsby shows that the American dream isn't what it's intended to be. Traditionally, when you think of the American dream, you think about a man and a wife. They have 2 kids. They have a dog, preferably a golden retriever. Yeah, and a stable job. But Gatsby's version of the American dream is kind of complicated. It's different. He gets rich, not for happiness or security or to have a better life in the future, but no, it's not for fulfillment, but to win Daisy back. Someone he's idealized for years, someone his whole life, his whole personality is based upon. His goal to win Daisy back. His dream is based on an illusion and the past, not reality. He's basically focusing all about his wealth and appearances. He doesn't focus on about this thing. And in the end, he loses it. Gatsby loses it, and it basically shows how a fantasy, you live your life in a fantasy, can lead to being lonely and destructive.
That's why it is also controversial why they say he is great.
Yeah.
It's controversial how they call him the Great Gatsby, not only Gatsby.
Yeah. But now I have a question back to you, Mohammed. How do you think Fitzgerald uses symbolism to prove the novel in general?
So, Fitzgerald uses symbolism a lot in his novel. Well, first of all, the green light, for instance. We all know the green light. The green light at the end of Daisy's dock.
Yeah.
It represents Gatsby's hopes, dreams, but they're always out of reach. And you can even see him in the movie. He's literally reaching out for the light, but he just can't get it. Yes. The Valley of Ashes, for instance, it symbolizes moral decay beneath the glamorous, roaring 20s. Well, the eyes we see in the ad of the Dr. T.J. Eichelberg suggest a godless, judgmental world. These symbols deepen the novel's exploration of disillusionment, ambition, and moral emptiness. But most importantly, the most important symbol in the entirety of the story would be his car.
The yellow car.
Yes, Gatsby's yellow car represents wealth. So Gatsby uses his car to get around. Like,
What was his car in the movie actually?
I think it was a Ford, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was a Ford. But it was yellow, so it represents wealth. And he uses it literally to get to his destinations, to get from point A to point B, which implies that he uses his wealth to get to his ultimate goal, which is to be with Daisy Buchanan and to be part of the old money. So,
To emphasize, you're basically saying that he's on a journey, and that journey is Daisy Buchanan.
exactly.
The destination is Daisy Buchanan.
Exactly, and to reach his ultimate goal. To understand the symbolism behind the car is to understand the entirety of the plot of The Great Gatsby.
To elaborate on the matter of the part of the new money and the old money that you said, Gatsby represents the new money and Tom and Daisy represents the old money. The novel itself shows a rigid class division between Tom and Daisy belonging to the old money and Gatsby to the old money. and also Wilson to the working class, and that can be applicable through Marxism theory. Hence, it's all divided. This is above this. This is above this. These division actually prevent the connection, the true connection between like Daisy rejects Gatsby, and Tom's dominance actually stems from his tattoos. The story reveals the class definition, like love and power, and especially in the roaring 20s of America, and which is a huge theme in the novel.
Definitely argue that his ultimate goal, Gatsby's ultimate goal, is not Daisy. He does want Daisy, but that's not his ultimate goal. His ultimate goal is to be part of the old money.
It's like he's insecure of
Yeah,
Be a part of a certain society.
Yes.
the status, the power behind being generationally wealthy, not just wealthy. Exactly, that's his final or ultimate goal. And what's really interesting, Gatsby throws the wildest parties in West Egg, but no one really knows him. He's surrounded by people, but totally alone. That's kind of like social media today. All those followers, no real connection. Fitzgerald predicted the influencer lifestyle before Instagram even existed back then.
It's like how when you meet your favorite celebrity, you see all these followers, all these engagements in social media, but when you meet him in real life, he's so very shallow.
Yes,
He only talks about social media, he doesn't talk about his real life experiences.
They always say never meet your heroes.
Yeah, exactly. That's a
Portrays how greatness is subjective in the novel, because who can say I'm great and I'm not? What can decide what greatness is? Is it money? Is it wealth? Is it fame? Who knows?
And I think that materialism has a lot to do with it. Gatsby is very materialistic. He focuses only on his, him wanting Daisy and that he has money. He thinks that that's the only thing that will win Daisy back, to show her that I'm part of your society now. I'm old money now too, like you said, Mehdi.
Yeah, that's the real reason behind the big parties.
Yeah.
He's just hoping that one day she will walk through that door.
And imagine having to have a party basically every day. It's very tiring.
Was it
to
every
say
day
that.
or every weekend?
I think it's every weekend.
I think so,
Yeah, and I think that's what led to his downfall. Basically, you having this simulated life of partying. It's like you're in a video game. Every day you're having a party. It's basically the same routine to get to the next level, which is Daisy. And that's what led to his downfall. And yeah,
Can you guys say that he is a tragic hero? It is an interesting take to say how some critics see that actually Gatsby is a tragic hero, hence he was a great guy in a kind of sense, and he had a downfall. And this downfall was because of his tragic flaw, which was the obsession of Daisy.
I think that's very interesting. And I want to add another point that I think is very interesting, which is about Nick Carraway, yeah, on how he, our favorite narrator, like Dr. Watson. I think Nick both pities him, Gatsby, and admires him at the same time, and that's what makes the relationship so interesting. On one hand, Nick sees how lonely and tragic Gatsby's life is. He pities him because Gatsby spends his lone life chasing a dream, which is Daisy.
And not just Daisy, but to be part of the generation wealth that they have.
Yeah, basically the old money, yeah. And it shows in the end, he dies alone, and he's rejected by the very people he's trying to impress, which is,
Just sad.
yeah. But at the same time, Nick genuinely admires him. He's amazed by Gatsby's hope, his determination, his goal. He has one single goal, and he stops at nothing. everyone wants to be that person, to have a goal, a dream, and chases that dream. They always say the following quote: always chase your dreams. But like Nick says, even in the movie, he says, the single most hopeful person I've ever met. And I think that Gatsby stands out because he believes in something, even if it's unrealistic. And that hope and that faith in a dream, no matter how flawed it was, shows that Nick respects Gatsby.
So, basically, to go back to what I said earlier about how Fitzgerald basically predicted Instagram before Instagram was even created and the whole social media thing, Gatsby's house in itself is a giant flex. Pure vibes, zero warmth. It's a house, it's not a home. Yeah. He's not living, he's performing, basically. Kind of like those creators we see on TikTok who just rent Lambos, but they live in a studio house.
That was our podcast for today. Thank you all for listening, and I hope you enjoyed and actually learned something new that you didn't know about The Great Gatsby, or any specific area that we talked about.
I have one last thing to say.
Yes.
Which is, I hope you learned something new, because in literature doesn't have a right or wrong answer. What's amazing about literature is that you have a critique or you have a certain response to this and you respond to it, and this answer is very interesting, that it unlocks another answer. You're basically in a loop, and that's what makes literature very interesting and amazing. And I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. This is the last episode, by the way, of the Literary Couch. For now. Next semester, maybe. Yeah. And maybe we'll be signed by Spotify.